Welcome back everyone to more standard on Arena with me, Autumn, aka Rainy the Witch. Today we are playing some Is It Prowess in standard. TFT Sock, friend of the stream, top-8'd, even got to the finals of the regional championship a bit over a week ago. Very impressive finish, of course. Qualified for Worlds as a result, and was playing this exact 75. I thought I'd give it a spin. We're a big fan of Is It Prowess on the stream. Love playing this deck. I think it's one of the most powerful, most impressive decks in standard. Of course, there's a guide for Is It Prowess up on my Patreon. Very much worth checking out. I thought today we should try out TFT's list, because they're doing some very innovative, cool stuff in their list. They don't have any Slick Shot show-offs, but they have the full 4 Swiftspears. They have Thundertrap Trainers in the main deck, and Abrades, both fascinating choices. Thundertrap probably just to make the deck more consistent at finding Steel Cutter, or Abrade to deal with Steel Cutters in the mirrors. They're a bit lighter on Monstrous Rages than most people. Just a few interesting little touches that I really want to give a spin, see how it performs. Of course, for those not familiar, Is It Prowess is basically a deck all about Cori-Steel Cutter, which is the most powerful card in standard right now. Very silly Magic the Gathering card. Rewards you for playing 2 spells in a turn. So the aim is to play 2 spells in a turn very effectively. And when you do this, you also work well for your Prowess creatures. Your Prowess creatures get lots of triggers. Grow very large. Your Swiftspear hits for a lot, or your Drake Hatcher gets to make some Drakes. You feel pretty happy. Of course, Is It Prowess in the late game gets stock up. Can even return stock up with Stormchaser's talent. Some good late game grind going on in this deck, as well as the early aggressive starts. Always love playing this one. Let's try out CFT's list and see how it performs for us. I think if we had Spirebluff Canal or a second cantrip, I might keep this hand. I think it's a bit too risky. Okay, this is a nice hand though. Double Steel Cutter, phenomenal. I'm gonna Slight on 1 to make sure we have our 3rd land drop locked up here. Cutter's fun to play with. Yeah, card's always a blast. Always have a great time with this deck. How was my weekend? My weekend was a lot of fun. I played a couple Magic events at a convention nearby. Didn't do like super well in them. Didn't do super badly. Just kind of did fine. But you know, that's Magic sometimes. Hey Callie, welcome. I can assure you it's the same background as last week. I don't want to make a token here instead of stocking up. Maybe that's bad. Stock up uses my mana slightly better. I just really like making a token. Oh, wow, that's a card. We get to make a token and have the 2nd Steel Cutter in play for next turn. Very nice stuff. Oh, no worries, Sophia. Easy to mix up. No, I was hoping they were the Demons deck and not the temporary lockdown deck. Unfortunately, they are the one that we're going to struggle against. Okay, well. Temporary lockdown certainly makes this game interesting, I suppose. Do a little hunt here. Oh, that's a Flood Maw though. Nice find. Flood Maw to bounce this lockdown on end step. Yeah, 4x Flood Maw definitely helps. This sort of thing. I agree. Please don't Hopeless Nightmare me, friend. They Nurturing Pixie. They pick up the Breaker. They're going to be running awfully light on resources. I could just bounce this now and try and get in for some damage and force them to replay the lockdown in their turn. Is that reasonable? Could also do it on their end step. Which I think is what I'm actually planning on. And then we hope we can double spell the turn after, opt into like a stock up or something. Yeah, might be able to trigger twice. Kind of my thinking. A little bit of wishful thinking, but it could work out. Push a decent amount of damage. Parsi Revenant. Oh, fascinating. Sure. We get to go bounce the lockdown. Fire off the opt. Look for a cantrip or a stock up. Torch the Tower deals with the Revenant. It's kind of hard for me to get rid of this Torch the Tower, I think. Yeah, Abzan. I don't know what the green's for. I feel like I have seen someone play green in that deck before. I don't remember what it was for. Go Rage. Oh, you wanted to torch and upkeep? Huh, that might have been a good idea. That's interesting. It does get rid of one of our larger creatures is the problem. If we torch and upkeep, so we like end up missing out on a bunch of damage. And get rid of the Swiftspear. We get in for 12. Oh, right, it might be Avalon. Yeah, yeah. Good point. Here comes the lockdown. Unfortunate. Yes, I play out my Spirebluff Canal because I'm only going to have to discard it anyway. We're looking to roll like Stormchaser's talent, I guess. I don't know. I'm honestly not entirely sure how I get into this game at this point when I'm hellbent. Is the problem. Because the discard forces me to keep playing my garbage out. Really tough. Oh, I guess maybe I meant to let them discard me instead of playing that one out though. Because now they can use a removal spell on it instead if they want. Okay, they Breaker the Swifty. Breaker puts them at virtual 10. Basically on stock up or bust at this point. Oh, what? I need to read this one. Me choose a non-that. Wow. What a crazy card. Ah. That is interesting. Could also just take an opt to dig for my bounce effect. Okay, I'll take the Stormchasers, I guess. Just get this in play. Hope we don't get locked down again. Although we might well get locked down. That would suck. Good evening, Jaws. Yeah. Alright. Well, unfortunately, they are going to get to lock down me. And also attack for a lot. Matchup seems hard. I mean, that's always the thing, right? These black-white decks are quite good against specifically, is it? Oh, thank you, Otherone. Appreciate you as always. Might have to give that deck a spin. Lock down us again. Stuff. We need to draw a Flood Maw. Although even if we do, I guess they could have breaked us. They really should have breaked us to turn off Flood Maw as an out. It's actually crazy, right? They're not momentum breakering there. We're almost lost them the game if we draw Flood Maw. Is the next card. Great. I'm a bit too little too late, sadly. Yeah. Okay. On to the next one. So we are against Abzan. We definitely want Rao. Definitely want Get Out. I assume these Monstrous Rages are terribly impressive. Neither are these Swifties. Neither is the Spell Pierce. Torch is kind of fine, right? I think Torch is kind of fine. Oh, these Abrades are like a bit mid. Hearth Elemental seems good. Scorching Shot seems great. Town seems good. I guess Drake Hatch is also kind of bad. Maybe Drake Hatch is just worse than Swifty. Very different list to what I'm used to playing with. It's taking a minute to figure out the sideboarding with it. Could bring in Negate, honestly. Doesn't seem unreasonable. Alright, on the play. Certainly keeping this hand. Rao is the best card in the matchup. We have talent on 1. We have good mana. Very, very solid opening hand, even if it doesn't have a cutter. Alright, they're gonna Hopeless Nightmare me. I might just discard this opt. Kinda into this trainer, like it gets me a body. Whilst drawing a card. Honestly seems pretty nice. If it gets put under a lockdown, every time we bounce the lockdown, we draw a card. It's actually a little bit annoying for the opponent. Opponent bounces the Nightmare, casts the Nightmare. I think I am going to discard this Flood Maw. I guess I'm going to attack with the Otter and then op. And then hold open, Get Out. Oh, they're going to do the trade. Pretty okay with that. I want this land because we have this Rao in hand. We get to just say go of Get Out open. The counter lockdown. Or bounce my trainer and my talent. Also pretty acceptable. I guess I will counter this. Does mean if they have another Nightmare, we can't play Rao next turn. Thankfully, they do not. So instead, we're doing pretty well for ourselves. Could make an Otter. I could also just minus. Seems pretty good against that deck. Making an Otter pressures them a bit more. I think I like minusing. Yeah, that's very nice. Very nice minus. Find a stock up. Comes the lockdowns. They would have killed an Otter anyway if we played one out. That worked out great. Now we have the Thundertrap under there. Okay. Let us Sleight of Hand. Get a loyalty counter. If we take a talent, we can triple spell this turn. Nice. Or we could take the town to assemble it with talent later in the game. Fire up a stock up. No 1-mana spell that I'm like super into casting this turn, although I could just cast the Flood Maw. Not terrible. I'm just gonna take these and plus my morale. Take the powerful cards. Oh, hey, Alchemical. Why is OBS is like really struggling to show all my messages today? I guess I should be paying attention to Twitch today instead of OBS, by the looks of things. Minus my route. I'll also just be building towards Rowell. That sounds pretty good too, but cast the 2 best cards in the format. Yeah, I feel like I should be bouncing this Carsey this turn. Is the thing. So that it doesn't attack my Rowell. Just having to discard a land is slightly awkward. Yes, now I'm just gonna minus my Rowell to find land. Fire off Sleight of Hand, take stock up. In there for free. They have to lock down if they don't want to die, but the Rowell's still ticking. Very nice stuff. Alright, here comes the lockdown. We're gonna go Steel Cutter, get a loyalty. Stock up. Stock up, fine. Really do just want to keep hitting my land drops, huh? Land negate. Oh, I kind of want to play a Hearth Elemental though. Yeah, you remember when this was an aggro deck? Then people realized you're just allowed to play good cards. Alright, get in there. I agree, Huzzled. I think my personal prediction is that when rotation happens, Monstrous Rage and Cori-Steel Cutter are gonna hit early rotation. Very hard to imagine those 2 cards are gonna survive, in my opinion. I guess I shouldn't show them the Scorching Shot if I can help it. Which I can. Very much help it. Oh, is that when the bans happen? Okay. That ban period is kind of like early rotation, I guess, if you squint a little bit. Actual Bitter Blossom. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. Iron. Yeah, this is CFT's list. Being real sweet so far, honestly. I genuinely have no idea, Alchemical. I'm slightly out of the loop on that. Ooh, I really don't want to mulligan against the Million Hopeless Nightmare deck, so I guess I'm gonna keep this. I have double cantrip for my second land. I have the best card in the deck. I don't have a Rowell to build towards, sadly, but you know, seems fine enough. Fine enough Hand of Magic to Gathering cards. Opponent has Mold to 5. I see. I see. Alright, missing land means I am definitely just going to dig for a land. And I'm going to use Opt. Because I know the only thing I care about is finding a land. So I know I can scry any non-land bottom. Yeah, keep a land on top quite happily. And go for this Cori-Steel Cutter card. Here, it's a good one. Here's the Severance Priest. Pretty good. They get to take a stock up or a cutter. Or a Sleight of Hand. They could risk it and go with the Sleight. Pretty wild, but not unreasonable. They do take the cutter. Makes sense. We're gonna go Sleight, look for land drop. We do find it very skillfully. Thank goodness. And I guess I'm just gonna Stormchasers and get my token. And there's no real reason. I guess I can cast the torch. I'm a little bit worried about getting these stock ups discarded, but God, Severance Priest is so close with temporary lockdown, huh? They just kind of permanently take the card away, in a sense. Invasion Ops, your Bean Cutter deck. Oh, I might play some more Bean Cutter tomorrow. I already have 2 decks lined up for today, but the Teemo Cutter deck is so sweet. Alright, goodbye stock up. Luckily we still have a second one, and we're still astronomically ahead on board, so you know, can't complain. Fire this off, find a spell. What do you know? We found a spell in our deck of spells. Oh, I already don't love casting this Stormchaser problem. I worry that it runs into lockdown, kind of hate it. I also worry that not taking Flood Maw is like very questionable. But we are pressuring them a lot. And if they lock down, they only have 1 card left. And then we get to Thundertrap to dig. Okay. Annoying, but fine. No! Oh my god. Dreams of Steel and Oil is so good at bricking against the stack. But wow, did it hit. That was an amazing Dreams of Steel and Oil. Not always a great card against, is it? But it was phenomenal there. Indeed, Alchemical, indeed. Honestly, the way things are at the moment, if I qualified for a Pro Tour, I'd have to have a very real think about whether I actually go to it. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. If I hold this, it can get discarded. But if I hold it, I can hit a spell and hit them for 2. So I should probably hold it and just cross my fingers that I don't get discarded for a turn. Maybe they'll do one outside the US. That would be nice. That's a good question, Tony. I don't actually know the answer to that. Blue Castrol, thank you for the 57 months of support. Thank you, Blue. Appreciate you. I'm gonna hold the land so I can discard that and keep the cutter safe, I guess. They probably run 4 Nightmare, 4 Breaker. Is my assumption. That is the best possible deck. Fair to say. soaks up some casty hits whilst we make some otters. Might actually win this. Might beat the unbeatable. Wow, they're holding back to block. That's so good for me. I get to minus my busted card. Play Cutter number 2. Are they just actually dead now? Seems close. Or not close. Maybe it just seems not close. That sounds more likely. Trigger, 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 trigger. I can even pick up the creature they blocked to stop them gaining life. So I think that's slightly unnecessary, right? They block a free power thing. Then they take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good game. Beat the unbeatable. Admittedly, they mulliganed to 5 game free. But you know. Take the wins you can get. Take the wins you can get, chat. In chat. So, lots of good content up there. Posted by my excellent editor. I also have a Patreon where I upload strategy guides, sideboard guides, articles, etc. Probably write something once every week or 2 on average. Try and keep the guides up to date. Lots of good stuff up there. Definitely worth giving a look. I think I'm going to slight on one. Arguable whether that was worth it, but hey. My Patreon's one of the best ways to support me, and you get some cool content in the process. Currently we have an Is It Prowess guide up there for standard. That's pretty up to date. I'm going to be updating it again this week to make sure on top of the meta before the new set Final Fantasy releases. And then I also have a modern Temur Eldrazi list up there as well, which is probably my favorite modern deck. It's only the one I play the most, and one I've been winning a lot with recently too. So worth giving a look for that cool content. I'm gonna pick up the Nightmare, you see. And not gonna play a land out. Interesting, interesting. I kinda just want to play Cutter and say go and pierce this Nightmare. I guess I can just discard the pierce to the Nightmare and it'd be nice to get some pressure going. I've changed my mind. Change of plans. Pretty whatever. I guess I will take this. The amount of variety modern Eldrazi is really cool. Yeah, people build it a lot of different ways. It's kind of wild. You get like straight red-green, you get red-green with Heragast, you get Temur. Temur's built a bunch of different ways. Some people play Karn, some people don't. Oh, I guess if they're Esper, I don't have to play around this temporary lockdown card. Pretty good news. Alright, put them to 8. Hopefully draw something that triggers this cutter. Yeah, there is a mono blacklist. I actually hadn't seen the mono blacklist until I played against it this weekend. It definitely will look worse to me, but you know, it's cool that people are exploring different directions. You say? Okay. I'm just gonna cast this for the triggers. We put them to 2 this way. Seems pretty reasonable. Unless they chump block. In which case they go to 4. Still good. I'm gonna run out the Spirebluff. Although the Spirebluff does make town slightly spookier, not that much. Second resource is should have equipped. How would I have equipped? Tapped wrong. Have you read Spirebluff Canal? I suggest reading Spirebluff Canal. Yeah, there is a mono blue Tron deck. It plays the big Emeralds. Kind of wild. And that deck's something. Alright, now to prove that I do actually know how to equip the equipment, I just literally couldn't do it last turn because I only had 1 red mana. Does Brood-Scale count as an Eldrazi deck? Yeah, probably. I would say so. I wouldn't label it as Eldrazi. But it also literally plays Emrakul the Promised End, so I don't know. Not unreasonable to count that one. Against Esper, well, we certainly want Rouse, we certainly want Hearth Elemental. We don't know that they have Preachers, so I guess I'm not going to board in Scorching Shot necessarily. I guess I don't want these Drake Hatchers. I do want this Get Out, probably. Yeah, Brute Scale is, in fact, literally an Eldrazi. True. Torch is, like, pretty reasonable against them. Abrade is pretty disappointing against them, I suppose. Town for their Otter tokens? Yeah, I agree. That seems good. Need 2 more cards. I could just bring in Scorching Shots for Preacher anyway. It's not very exciting. Also bring in a Clasm. Can be fine against Esper. Bring in Negate. Counter Lockdown. I don't love Negate against Esper, but I guess I'm going to try it. If I have Pierce in my deck, I should probably have Negate against them. Aw, meowdy, Vivi. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to keep this. I don't really love mulliganing against that deck. We have a 1-drop, and we also have the best card in the matchup. Pretty hard to ship it. Right, Concealed Courtyard. Ugh. Yep. Dwarfing, my friend. Comes a nightmare. What a nightmare. Ooh, a Steel Cutter. Run that out. Back with my Otter. Maybe we get a trade if we're lucky? Question mark? Love a trade. Trade's so good for us. It makes this row so much better. Also means, yeah, just really nice trading our Otter for a 2/2 flare. Makes Lockdown slightly less scary, although still pretty freaking scary. Fear of Isolation. Oh, stop it. So Opt lets me maybe make a token, whereas Row is turbo busted. I just don't know if I have the resources to get to casting this Row. And I kind of feel like I need to take game actions next turn, rather than just playing a land and doing nothing else. I'm gonna keep that. I might just fire off the Sleight and not cast the Stormchasers. Because I'm kind of into discarding Stormchasers to a Nightmare if I need to. Yep. Oh my gosh. Stop it. We're on 10. Opponent hasn't even attacked us yet. Actual crazy stuff. I feel like if I'm ever gonna win this game, I really need to make a Cori-Steel token this turn. Obviously, not taking stock up sucks. But I feel like making a Cori-Steel token is pretty non-optional. If we're ever going to win this. Please just play a tap land. Thank goodness. They can't attack us with Reef this time. Okay. Honestly, untapped land could be worse. So let's just get back a spell and get a trigger. It's fine. Fascinating. Both of these are really good. I think it's meant to be stock up. I think I cannot beat removal spell or bounce spell anyway, so I'm just going to attack with 2 creatures and like maximize my damage output in the hope that I can race them. Obviously, I have to hold back a blocker for Reefer. They have the removal spell. GG. On to game 3. That was a very strong draw from the opponent. Pretty messed up, honestly. Game 3. Get him next game, that's the plan. Would love to go fast. I wouldn't say I'd love to keep this hand, but I guess it's fine. Currently witnessing Monastery Swiftspear being much better than Slickshot Show Off. Shocking development. Oh, they're dreamsing me to try and stop Cutter. Annoying, but fine. Oh god, both of these stink. Guess I take Cutter. Maybe we draw a spell for Cutter and it ends up being fine. Dreamsbug? Dreamsbug indeed. Obviously taking Cutter runs headfirst into lockdown, so maybe I could have taken Pierce. I kind of need to be prowessing my Swifties, so. Oh, they're playing Scavenger. Interesting. Please let me draw an Opt or a Sleight of Hand. Or a Torch, I'm not picky. Well. Monastery Swiftspear, huh? Monastery Swiftspear. Notably, this Monastery Swiftspear, again, is being way better than Slickshot Show Off, although not terribly impressive. Top deck Clasm, that would have been hilarious. Trading the Scavenger for the Monk. Okay, I like that. We get in for 4. We hope they don't lock down us. Drawing pretty live to a bunch of cantrips. Killing our Cutter. Boo. Hiss. Lock up. You know what? You'll do just fine as well, Rao. You'll do just fine, my friend. Let's attack. If they double block one, we get to minus. If they don't block, we get to plus. Apparently, we get to minus. Hey, Jamura. That is going pretty well today. We just had the season reset. Enjoying getting to play some Is It whilst we climb. Actually, do I minus? I might plus. If I minus, I can get Hopeless Nightmare. If I plus and they temporary lockdown, I just kind of don't care. I guess now they can town plus Nightmare. But then they get attacked for free and they die to any spell. I don't know. I think this is pretty good. Comes the Scavenger. It's also hard to believe Scavenger and Lockdown are in their deck at the same time, so. Yeah, I agree, Avalon. We came to the same conclusion. Gamer Girl, thank you so much for the 16-month resub. It's so nice to see you. I hope you've been well. I'm doing well myself. So. And Jamura with half a year of support. Thank you, Jamura. Oh, they die now, right? That sounds pretty believable. Classic 5-mana town. Let's go. Been working a lot, but have the summer off and getting ready to move. Good luck with the move. I hope it goes really smoothly. Moving is always a time, but I hope it goes smoothly. Mulligan. One's very mediocre, but I guess a keep. Rid of the Flood Maw. Because we won't need these lands for talent. Fuck up. Obviously it's been doing Flood Maw and Monstrous Rage. The Rage is not terribly impressive, but pretty hard to keep a bounce spell on your like mediocre mulligan when you don't have much card advantage in the hand. Alright, deploy the Stormchasers. Get that Otter. Another concealed courtyard deck. They're everywhere today. Do I ever want to rage here? Just to push damage? I don't know. It's hard to imagine this Otter is living long. I guess holding the rage is good for like if we draw a Cutter. Or we can discard it to Nightmare and keep our lands. Hey, what do you know? Yeah, respond to cut down with rage. True. Or Grimbauble, though I don't think people play that one very much nowadays. Cutter. Fascinating. If I return a spell, next turn we can double spell potentially. Get our Cutter token. A Nightmare me, I discard Island. Go Cutter. Torch your Pixie. Get a 2/2. I guess I could have cast Abrade instead. It's like basically the same thing, except we use up the 2-mana spell instead of the 1-mana spell. I don't have that many X-Frees. Honestly, it might have been better. They might have Slasher in their deck. In which case Torch is actually like meaningfully better to have in hand. Or they could have Kasi Revenant as well. Like the Exile on the Torch could have been pretty nice. Get in for 2. For 12. Comes the Scavenger. You could haste out a Drake Catcher, I guess. Run head first into nowhere to run this way. Anyway. I don't think I'm allowed to attack with the 1/1 for exactly that reason. So I guess if they know where to run, they have to block with the Scavenger. If they had Annex, they'd have probably cast it, I think. Yeah, I'm very unsure what they have in hand. Nowhere to run seems pretty likely. Although I guess if they should have like just answered the Hatcher when I re-equip. That's what they have. Yeah, they're just sacking Nightmare. What do they have in hand? Genuinely pretty puzzling. Is they could have blue cards. Maybe they're Esper and they have blue cards. They have Scavenger, so they're probably Esper, right? Gonna pump up this Hatcher. Get those counters on these drakes. Oh, Sunpearl Karen means I only get one drake. Well, they might just chump block, but I have tramples. They can't do that. They -3/-3. They do chump block to stop me getting a drake. Sense. Right. Yeah, I think they're just Esper. It's the only way, like, them not doing things makes sense, right? So I'm gonna board as if they're Esper. I think that's, like, pretty just reasonable to assume. They play Preachers these days. I don't really know. We have a bunch of bounce spells, so obviously that's not ideal. If they were black-white, I would snap board in the shots. I think against Esper, my inclination is to not board in shots. But if we see Preachers, we can swap a couple cards to get these in. Yeah, 3-color decks without the Surveil lands. The mana base in Esper's always been real bad. Even when it was, like, arguably the best deck, the mana base still stunk, right? Acceptable. Turn 1 Painland, huh? Dude, Roaring the Torch on 1 is legitimately so nice. Getting the Scavenger out of play. Okay, I could double spell to get some pressure going. I don't mind. As much as I like casting the Thundertrap or something. Having 2 Prowess critters in play sounds real nice. Yeah, they are Esper. I was right. This is the only way their plays made any sense, right? Is them having a 3rd color stuck in hand. Yeah, they miss a land drop. Oh, that's good news. Very good news. I wonder if I'm ever meant to trade here. Honestly, maybe. More like I'm prowessing past the sphere next turn anyway, right? Seems fine. Fine enough. Like, resolve a stock up and feel pretty okay. Steel Cutter, Thundertrap, question mark. Maybe I meant to take a Swiftspear there instead, I don't know. It's good though. Yeah, taking Swiftspear would let us make this Swiftspear free power next time. By going... Oh no, my Cutter. Rude. Very timely duress. Oh, that's a good card. Well, the games begin. Seems like we're untapping with our Rao. Delightful. They have a lot of flyers. There's that, but you know. Start getting counters on round. Oh, the Flood Maw is kind of nice for bouncing this otter, huh? Means we just get to swing with our Prowess creatures safely. Thundertrap uses my mana better. Stormchaser gets another Prowess critter in play, but 2 Thundertraps in hand. We don't even have Prowess enablers for next turn anyway, so this. Otter, and we get in for 6. Oh, was it ever Stormchasers over Flood Maw? I kind of felt like bouncing their Otter meant I didn't have to defend my Rao at all. But I guess holding the Flood Maw also helps me push damage through blockers. So maybe Stormchaser's gonna be better. That's interesting.